Welcome back, guys, to Tales from the Head. We are here. We're off for about a week, a little more, because I was having a little stomach bug and stuff. But before we get into that, tell me. I know this is some new news for some, but not necessarily for everyone. Who has seen Fred Durst's new look at the Lollapalooza for 2021 so far?
I mean, I guess at this point, you really can't even miss it. There's like, you open up any type of social media out or go into YouTube, and it's like amongst the first like 10 videos recommended for you to see. And God knows how many like memes there is or anything.
I didn't even check, but there's got to be a million.
Bro, and you know what? I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
Fred Durst doesn't look so bad. Dressed like a dad bod person. I'm gonna say it.
I found it really funny because he obviously, if anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, Google Fred Durst Lollapalooza. But if you don't, here's a little brief description. Basically, he has like a blonde wig. I'd say like a blonde wig,
like
a short to medium
washed
length
up blonde, kind of thing. Yeah,
kind of an old manish. And then he has straight up, because I think he is like a blonde. I think he's a blonde dude.
I think he is.
So he also has his mutton chops, which is, if anyone doesn't know, it's a mustache that goes all the way down. But no beard, nothing else, just that. And he's
if you will,
wearing high water khakis and what looks like to me some kind of windbreaker kind of thing.
Yeah, he definitely has like the what kind of shirt was he wearing? Like a polo shirt or something?
Yeah. He literally was just dressed like an elderly man.
Yeah, there's also, as a side note, you can also reference this. There's another meme going around saying how there's only one person in the Rolling Stones who's dressing like a 77-year-old. That's what he looks like. You know, just go to a retirement home. That's how he dress up. My dad dresses up like that, actually. But the man's 71, so it only makes sense.
I was showing Steph, and of course she doesn't like Limp Bizkit at all, so she didn't think it was funny. But the other thing that was hilarious to me was, I feel like he was in a whole character too, because when he came out, he was really soft spoken. He's all, "What's up, everybody?" And like that made it even funnier to me. And then on top of that, he was just sounding. You know how he does his whiny thing when he's heavy.
Yeah.
But it felt like he knew people troll him, so he was being extra whiny, because he's all, "When I say get up, get the fuck up." And like he kept doing that. And I was like, excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm dying over here. He was like it was adding to all the funniness to me, you know? And then the way he was dancing too.
Yeah.
He's dancing like an old man to his music.
No, it's a character.
Right.
It's definitely character. Because at first I was like, no way this is real. No way this is real. And then I looked it up and saw videos of him performing, like, okay, well, obviously it's not real. Like, you can tell there's a wig. If that's his real hair, that's awesome. But I think
it might be a wig.
Yeah, like a very good wig just to go along with the whole outfit. And I was like, you know what? This is good for Fred Durst, because I was thinking when I was setting up for recording, Limp Bizkit and Fred Durst has come a long way. I don't know the man, but I'm going to assume through through my perspective. You know, Limp Bizkit came out on the scene, 97, 98?
Yeah, like 90. Yeah, like 90, like mid to late 90s, yeah.
Yeah, because I remember they kicked off the 1999 year because they did a Prince cover of 1999 on MTV. Like,
New Year's. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So at this time, you also got to take into perspective. This time, this is like the last hurrah for musicians. You know, there's still platinum albums being sold. Music is being played in MTV. The radio's playing not the same 5 songs over and over. And Limp Bizkit was in the middle of this was the poster child of this new movement, of this new genre of music coming out. And they're just getting huge. And I mean, when you're young, you know, younger, I should say, because I don't think they were that young.
I think they were pretty young when they started.
yeah, you know, when you're like young, you're having all the success, you're seeing your success grow, you know, then I'm pretty sure you're under the influence all the time. When you have all that in access, you're under the influence. You get arrogant. You get, it gets to your head. So I think it's funny now, Fred Durst 20 years ago would have hate people making fun of him.
Mm-hmm.
Fred Durst now, 20 years later, probably doesn't care. He's collecting a big ass paycheck. He's like, troll me. I don't care. I'm having fun. I'm going to do whatever I want. I'm not going to take myself so serious like I did before.
And that's kind of when I stick up for him a little bit, because I'm like, people want to be like, oh, they're bro frat rock. And I'm like, dude, they're 20-year-old kids making music, dude.
Yeah.
You know, whether you hate a genre, which it seems like a lot of people just hate nu metal, so then they just do that, which I enjoy the trolling of nu metal. There's some nu metal stuff I like. But I enjoy, but I also enjoy shit talking. But I like fairness.
Yeah.
But that's my point. It's like, I don't feel like I get the bro vibe from them anymore. I'm getting more like the nostalgia of more humor and heavy, which is beautiful, because that's what everyone wants, is like,
I feel like Limp Bizkit is finally getting Wes Borland vibes that he was putting out back in the early days.
That too, man.
The band is finally catching up to Wes Borland's, not taking himself so serious, being a joke, but still like being the best musician you can.
Let's shift to Wes Borland, actually, because when that video originally started, the Lollapalooza one we're talking about, I didn't know at first that it was Wes Borland. I thought it might have been a woman, because if you see his getup, it is. I mean, I shouldn't ever count out Wes Borland for any kind of getup and assume I understand what he's gonna do. But once again, man, didn't disappoint. Had basically, I think it was face paint or a mask.
It was like a
wig.
All black, right? Like all black face paint or something.
And then he had these like knee-high stockings on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm all, damn, who's this chick? I was checking out Wes Borland, dude. I'm not lying. But I've been here. I've been locked up in the house for a few days, so this is what happens.
But you know what, dude? I think the day Wes Borland comes out with like Dickies and like a black T-shirt,
I don't want it.
Yeah, I don't want it. That's somebody check up on him. Somebody do a wellness check on him.
Yeah, if he doesn't have his weird contacts in that make his eyes look all black, I don't want it.
Yeah, if he's gonna out there and perform Limp Bizkit music live like a regular dude, I don't want it. No. There's something wrong. There's something wrong there.
And I will tell you, because when I saw Limp Bizkit in 2003, Wes Borland was not in the band. It was Mike Smith from the band Snot, and he didn't wear anything, and it was so vanilla. Yeah, which is a funny way to describe a white band, but it was so vanilla because it was just like Wes Borland literally and figuratively adds color to that band. Like the amount of body paint, the theatrics. He's a great musician too.
And it's funny because, again, as I was fixing my coffee, I was thinking, okay, we're going to talk a little bit about Limp Bizkit. I have to come clean to the audience here.
Yeah.
I used to love Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
$3 Bill, y'all, and Significant Others. Yeah. Like, that albums were like the shit for me. I'm not going to lie. After that, I lost interest, especially with like Chocolate Starfish and the other ones, because I got more into punk rock.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so I kind of lost interest. But like, I still throw on those those albums. And it's fucking amazing. It just takes me back. So I was listening to another podcast that talks about nu metal, and they're saying, it kind of sucks that I always kind of found it offensive that, Wes Borland left, and then he was like shitting on the music. He's like, yo, I fucking hate the band. Yeah. I hate this genre of music. For him, it was just a paycheck, and that's why he wore like the getup to kind of make fun of the genre or whatever. So I went back and I saw him. I'm like, all right, let me hear one song that Limp Bizkit did post, Rolling or whatever. And I think it was that one song, well, I'll eat you alive or something, or
I don't even know what
Boiler.
Song. I remember Boiler, but yeah, and I think that was off Chocolate Starfish.
Boiler was off Chocolate Starfish.
I believe so.
Yeah, because I think I saw Wes Borland was on that video,
And
but
that was the last album I think he might have
yeah.
been on.
So the one after, there's this music video called like I think the song's called "I'll Eat You Alive," and it's
Mhm.
like they're in the field and they have this girl like Limp Bizkit or Fred Durst like hitting up some girl or something, and he's like screaming at her like right in the face, and they had that dude from Snot, and it wasn't the same.
No.
The soul wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
And
He was good
I'm
too, but it just like you said, the chemistry sucked.
I've never seen Limp Bizkit live, unfortunately. I've never seen them live, but I feel like people I don't know. I take it very personal. Well, I shouldn't say personal, but I'm always like, fuck, I hate it when like bands leave, like when they replace them with a new band member. And sometimes it's like, yeah, musically, like if it's a guitar player or something, like sure, they still sound the same. Maybe it'll even sound better because the guitar player's still there. But like that chemistry, something about it that gave it a spark is missing. And I feel like that's what happened with Limp Bizkit when Wes Borland left. Because this is around the time, this is like early 2000s also, when he left and he joined From First to Last, you know?
Oh
And
wow. Yeah.
he was touring with From First to Last as a bass player. He
Wes
did
Borland?
it for, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Um so it's weird, but I'm just glad he's back and Limp Bizkit's not taking himself so serious. And I wish I can see him live because they look like they put on a fucking good show. Even if you don't like the music, it looks like they're having fun. Therefore, I need to have fun as well.
I agree, and I also want to check them out. But we're going to have to do that after the summer because they did just cancel the rest of their tour. I think probably because I'm sure management advised because of all the bad PR from Lollapalooza now.
Yeah.
And since that thing was a beast in Chicago of people.
Yeah.
Because I asked you earlier, I'm like, how many people were there? And you said...
And I said
it was
400,000.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is total for 4 days. Because I did think in my head, I'm all, that's a lot. Because
that's a lot of people. Yeah.
If anyone recently has watched the Woodstock 99 HBO documentary that came out, I believe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I recommend it. Check it out and see what you think. But also, that one showcased that it was 400,000 people, which is, I mean, that is a lot of fucking people.
That's a lot of people, dude.
I mean,
that's like
the whole population of Tracy, for instance, I believe is under, I want to say it's, I don't even know if it breaks 100,000.
Yeah, same thing with like, I'm thinking like Hollister. I'm thinking like Gilroy.
So it's a city. I mean, it's basically a large city, almost a metropolitan city, not like large metropolitan, but a smaller metropolitan city of people watching a show all at once. So that's why I was like, I'm glad it wasn't 400K at once, but it's still 100,000 per day. That's a lot of people, and it's not like, you know, they can be responsible. I mean, even if you want to be responsible, and even if you're wearing a mask, you're sweating. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not knocking the people that went. Trust me, I don't know if I would have went, but then again, this is coming from the guy who's planning on going to Knotfest in September, so I will be masking up though for that.
I just looked it up while you're talking. I saw how many people, like what major cities have the same like amount of people.
Yeah.
So it looks like Salt Lake City has about 200,000 people, so double the size of Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Or was in Woodstock 99 in the closed area of 99, and I think that's around the same number of the original Woodstock, right?
Yeah, there was a lot. So the original Woodstock, which they mildly touched on in the documentary as well, because they paint it like such a peaceful fest, the 69 Woodstock. But no, there was rape, pillaging, and all kinds of shit, just like in 99. The only difference was it just wasn't, they didn't show it in the Woodstock movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but the one thing that you pick up from the Woodstock doc is Woodstock 94 was a very, very successful and peaceful concert, but it also, the bill was just much more similar to that of 69's, which was like hippie rock, classic.
Yeah, I mean,
soul, a little more light.
I think the people who get more shit for that is Green Day. You know,
For
for like,
94.
yeah, for 94 for the whole mud throwing situation.
But even that was still like, you're right. But even then, like, that's a good point. And they didn't bring that up in the doc either. Weird. Yeah. So that's what I mean. Watch the doc, but you'll notice some things they leave out. They also try and skew a couple views. I don't want to just touch on it yet. I didn't, we talked about the whole DMX thing. But anyway, if you watch the doc, you'll know what I'm saying.
All right. No, and I definitely want to see it because I remember seeing them talking about Woodstock 99. I remember, and by that I mean like MTV, like leading up. And I want to say, did MTV even like show like parts of it? Or I remember you can like, it was a pay-per-view event where you can like pay to go and see like the live performances.
MTV had 24-hour coverage, which is also this is why I recommend watching it, because they have like production camera footage hours of this festival. So they were actually able to dig and use stuff they didn't use from the coverage that they couldn't use and throw it into this doc and remaster it. Because if you go on YouTube, a lot of the videos you find are all like VHS or TV rips from like 99. Yeah. So it's really cool to see a 4K or 1080 version of the show, because you can really see more detail, and I mean it's crazy. Yeah. So this might be fun to bring up about 94, because that might not have been mud in 94, because in 99 it wasn't mud. I remember watching MTV too, not MTV too, watching MTV as well, and I remember yeah, I remember the mud stuff. I remember people jumping. And so if you watch the documentary, you notice they're all doing all that by the porta potties, dude. Now it's shit water. They're playing in sewage, raw human feces. Oh, dude, it was a disaster. And it was mostly because the main disaster was that they hired security, and all the security pretty much just, as soon as they got in, took the shirt off and just joined the party. Yeah. Some guys used it. They're saying some guys used it to like assault women and stuff. I mean, I'm sure they did. But that's the thing too. It's like, you got no police. I mean, you got 400,000 people that can just do whatever they want. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable with me and my girl. Like, you're just in a tent. Like, what's stopping 8 guys from opening your tent and like taking your woman out of there? And I mean, I'm not saying all that happened. They're saying there were some instances of that, and I don't doubt that didn't happen. But I'm just like, that's what makes me feel like I'm like, you got to be a certain age, and you got to like be prepared. Like, I would have left too, though. Like, if that shit got weird, I would have just booked it.
I think also one of the main differences about, again, I wasn't there for both of them, but I'm thinking from a historical aspect, 69, you went in there with a different mindset. The idea was peace and love, and like, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to get fucked up and rage. That wasn't the mindset. Maybe in 94 was a little bit more of like, oh, let's fucking rage a little bit.
Well, yeah, we were a little more angst, but then, okay, but here's the funny thing to think about. We think that it's peace and love. 69 was peak Vietnam riots, man. Yeah. Protests, riots. We were not peaceful then.
No. But I'm saying, like, going into the concert, people who went to Woodstock was like, we're going to show how peaceful people can live in unity and all this shit.
Yeah. But I think that's the goal every time. It's just, once again, I think culturally the media paints a picture of decades for us. Like, it's that simple. Yeah. The 60s was the love. It's like, well, there was a lot of fucked up hate that went on in the 60s too.
There was still fucking discrimination.
Right.
There was,
well, that's they overshadow things to put a headline on it. But it's like, no, every decade has its fucking problems, its misery, its issues, its genocide, its wars. I mean, every 10 years is a fucking war. Between some world power. But that, that's what I mean. It's like taking things with a grain of salt as well. Not allowing people to paint these grand pictures. Understand they're painted pictures. They're not pictures. They're painted. Yeah. So they're skewed reality, you know? So I watched it as entertainment, you know? I feel like any documentary, most of the time it's like, I want to watch this to get their perspective of, because that's what a documentary is saying. This is my opinion of what happened.
Yeah.
I think some people treat documentaries as facts, which I think is a mistake. Because I don't treat a documentary almost any different than a fictional piece of art. You know,
there's biases. There's always certain biases.
Yeah.
You know, and whenever you're presenting, I feel like anytime you're presenting information, there's going to be biases. The only way you can not get biases is if you show like the whole, you know, like let's example the Woodstock 99 incident. You know, if they released the full on 4 days, day and night, all the angles, all the cameras at the same time, video. And I think that would be the best unbiased way you can ever treat something.
Yeah, but dude, you'd be watching like so much fucking footage. So I get it. Yeah. You know, you got to edit it down. And that's the problem. Like you said, I mean, unless you're such a purist, and I'm not, because you're right. Yeah. If you're a purist, you would want to watch 48 hours or 72 whole hours of footage. You know, I don't want to do that. But you're right. If that's the only way that is the only way. And even then, that's only what they captured. So
exactly.
It's still biased. Because it's not, I mean, and we're all even a human testimony. So, you know, it's just, you know, check it out, be smart, but, and it's interesting. It's educational in some ways, in a lot of ways, but it's, you know, it's enlightening. It's like, look what happens when a lot of people get together and it's not controlled. Yeah, I agree. It's a fucking disaster.
Yeah. And for me, just to finish up on the 99 Woodstock, for me, like, yeah, I saw 24-hour footage. I saw, like, I know MTV were like, oh, we're going to go live right now in Woodstock to see Korn play, you know, whatever. Yeah. And it was like Korn playing, you know,
Freak on a Leash or something. Or
like something big. And that's the only thing I will see. So that's the only thing that we will see. And it wasn't until I think it was the year 2000 or even like in 90, it might have been also 99 in September when they did the music video awards. MTV did the music video awards, and the Beastie Boys came out and they're like, hey, we want to take this moment to say we were at, you know, because they also play Woodstock. Like we heard some crazy stories of stuff that's going on and that happened in Woodstock after we left.
Yeah.
You know, and they brought up like the rape, the dopings, like we just don't condone that. And we feel like you should be, if you participate, you should be, you know, he pretty much called people out.
Yeah.
And that's also when they kind of acknowledge, like, yeah, I know we used to sing songs about this type of behavior when we were younger, but it's, you know, it was just entertainment. It was fact. It was fiction. It wasn't for you to take it literally and, you know, do this stuff. And since then they kind of stopped. They took away some of the songs from their set list. Like they stopped playing Girls, Fight for Your Right to Party and all this shit, you know?
I mean, and that's their choice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that. I don't think you should ever apologize for something unless you understand and agree that you're wrong. If you don't
I think that, and I think that's what they came. They're like, you know
what? Yeah,
we were wrong.
They decided that, and exactly. I can't say they're not. If they're the ones saying it and it's their music, take it off. Would I have done the same thing? Absolutely not. Because, I feel like just like what you said, it's like this is music. This is not meant, like they said, even in their own apology, this is not literal. So if you're smart and you have enough brain cells, you can understand this is entertainment.
Yeah.
Now, I'm wearing a Freddy Krueger shirt, Set Fire to the Sky. I support horror movies. I don't go around slashing people in their dreams. You know?
Fuck. I wish you would.
That would be kind of cool. That would be a good superpower.
Hey,
try and bust me, bitch.
Hey, I like how you like very low key just promoted our buddy's band over here.
Yeah, no, I did flash a little. Yeah, you know, just a little,
you know, it's kind of like me. I'm wearing this horror, you know, stuff, you know. Also, but doesn't mean I'm gonna go out there and, you know, put a black curse on somebody.
No, and I don't even have a basement, so come on over and check for bodies.
Yes, please. I do have a shed though.
Nice. Sheds are good. Sheds are good because you can always move them.
That's true.
But no, exactly. Like,
no, but
I respect them doing the thing because I feel like and it's not, I see the genuineness in them doing it because it would have been delivered different if it was like their agent saying, don't play those songs anymore. They wanted to explain it. That's farther than I would have gone. Did they handle it wrong? No. But like I said, that's just my opinion. I feel like they could have easily sent the same message just by saying that statement and then just continue. I mean, taking them out of their set list, I feel is a tad extreme. But if it's their choice, so who am I?
Yeah. And I mean,
I just enjoy, like, I mean,
by this time, 99, Beastie Boys already had.
Oh, they 15, had their heyday. That's true.
They had like 10 years plus of like different songs. So, you know, they had to weave out. There has to be some songs to weave out.
To shit on them. This was 99, right, when they did this?
How are you gonna shit on the Beastie Boys?
I'm gonna shit on them right now, and I'll explain why. And this is what's great. I love the Beastie Boys, but this is what me gonna shit on them. How are you gonna act like your shit's so racy in 99? Okay, I like the Beastie Boys, but let's be honest. It's not violent rap. It's not gangster rap, and that's what my point is. It's like, dude, in 92 and 88, you had graphic violent rap, and I'm not. I love gangster rap. I'm not talking shit. I'm just making a point saying, with as extreme as the music genre was moving with rap or rock, it's like, bro, were you guys just doing that to bring yourself into the talk?
Yeah.
You know, because you weren't even that racy. I mean, in 85 maybe, but come on, dude. Paul's Boutique, it's pretty fucking old now.
No, I think, 88, 89, it was the party. It was more like the party. It was party music, which turned to frat boy music, because gangster rap and stuff was still like, oh, I'm too scared. You know, this is when like everybody was trying to stop NWA and like, oh, I'm not, fuck the police. Oh, what's that supposed to mean? You know, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Or like, I'm a cop killer by freaking Body Count. You know, of course, it's like, it was too taboo.
I feel like
then you moved to you moved to 99, and unfortunately, all this music kind of got like commercialized. It was packaged and it was sold to the media. It was sold to the not the media, but it was sold to like the masses, where people listening to gangster rap, it was a little bit more acceptable. Yeah. And then you had like Eminem talking, pretty much doing his kind of spin on that genre of music also.
But that's what I mean, dude. I almost don't. The more I talk about it, the more I feel like they were just trying to bring themselves into the conversation. Because like you even said, relevant. Yeah, dude, a little. Because it's like no one was even talking shit about you guys, and you guys came out of nowhere, and you're like, yeah, we're not gonna do it. And it's like, okay, good job, guys. But I mean, you're also kind of like throwing yourself into a conversation you're not even part of. You're not that racy. You're just probably trying to boost your album sales, saying we were racy. Check out our old shit. You know.
I think no, and just to go against you, because that's
it's good.
At this point, I think everybody was pointing the blame at Limp Bizkit. This is already they're already blaming Limp Bizkit for like the shit that went down. But I don't think they came out saying, "Oh yeah, we insinuated this massive situation." I think they came out saying, "Hey, you guys did something, like people participated in doing shit that we don't agree with. Shame on you." I feel like that's what they said. I think that was their main message. It was just like, shame on you. And I think they were like one of the first musicians that definitely spoke out on the behavior that went on in that festival.
But who asked them?
Also,
they weren't even at the thing. But that's the annoying thing too. Is like they weren't at the show.
They got an award.
Thing.
Yeah, they got an award. An MTV. They got like an award or something, and they used that platform.
Oh, okay. So because I was wondering, I'm like, where did they come from? Okay, so they were actually. That makes it a little more relevant.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, you're good.
Because Woodstock '99, if I remember, it was like late August, right?
Yeah, I think it was July. Yeah, it was like late July.
Okay. So I mean, it's not like I don't have a fucking computer here and just
It was like July something.
And then the BMA Awards, I remember because I still remember the advertisement on it. It was $99.99. It was September 9th. Oh, sorry, September 9th, 1999. So yeah. And I'm looking here. I just looked up. It was July. Woodstock '99 was July 22nd through July 25th. So a month later, they're the ones who started speaking out, which makes sense for at the time. It's not like today where we have social media and all this shit is being put out like the very next day. The internet was still fairly new. So it makes sense a month later or a month and a half later, musicians and people are speaking out of the kind of shit that happened in Woodstock '99.
I can give you a good example of a band that
Beastie Boys.
Do you want? You know who did a really good job of doing that?
Please do.
At the concert, like at Woodstock '99, The Offspring, actually fucking were talking to the crowd while they were playing. And and this is why I give them more credit, because they were there, and it takes way more balls to say some shit in front of 400,000 people. But the Offspring singer straight up was like, yeah, hey, yo, I'm watching a lot of you guys crowd surfing chicks around. And, I know there's a lot of titties everywhere. But just because their titties are out doesn't mean that they said, hey, you can just grope and molest me. So, hey, ladies, do me a favor. If any guy tries grabbing you, why don't you just take your hand and just pull on their nuts as hard as you fucking can, and it was just like, dude, it was awesome. Cause I'm like, yeah, that's doing something. That's like, hey, cut this shit out, and like, I respect that. And then they just went back into playing, and it's like, dude, that's the thing about punk is angry, but punk fucking hates like a lot of shit. Punk is very PC for being anarchy. It's very like human rights, so it's funny.
I feel like the ethos for punk rock is anarchy, fuck what anybody says, do whatever makes you happy, but don't be a fucking asshole. Don't just because you like doing this doesn't mean that the other person likes it also. So take that into consideration. And I always love that about punk rock, dude. Always love that about punk rock.
It's like the anarchy is kind of more the theatrics than it is the actual realism, which I respect because anarchy's retarded.
Yeah.
My PC word of the day.
And I there you go. Well, Ryan, you should be more thoughtful of using the R word, okay? As a punk rocker. There's different ways to express yourself than using the R word. Anyways. I remember seeing.
I actually felt like I was getting scolded.
And I saw you're kind of looking down like, fuck.
You got to put your teacher tone on me a little bit. I was a little nervous.
And you're like, fuck, you're right. You're right.
Sorry, Mr. B.
Don't be sorry. Be better.
Yeah, I try.
No, but and I use that with my students all the time. Hey, don't be sorry. Be better.
I like that. That because sorry is a cop out.
Yeah, be better is like, okay, cool, you fucked up, now learn from it and be better than you were 5 minutes ago. No, but I was seeing Thrice, and there's this dude like crowd surfing, and sometimes crowd surfers are dicks. They're freaking kicking people's head.
You're already stepping on people, and then you're still gonna elbow. I'm like, I know what you mean.
Or they do like that stupid spin where it kind of hurts people and shit.
Yeah, dude.
And the singer Wilder and Thrice they play pretty aggressive ass music sometimes. And they like halfway through the show he goes, hey, dude, crowd surfing. Like while they're playing, he goes, hey, dude, crowd surfing. Hey, take it easy, bro. So come down. Why don't you take like a 5-minute break, man? Like, he's like, just take it easy. Like, you doing spin shit, you're hurting people. Take a rest, man, or stop.
Yeah. It's like no one.
And that's the punk rock mentality. Like, you call it at the time what it is, and if you don't like it, fuck you too.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of heavy music, even metal, is kind of like that. Like they'll, a lot of lead singers are cool. They'll, they'll be like, yo, what the fuck? I mean, I even saw My Over Eyes do it at their that show in San Jose you went to. There were people fighting in the back, and he's like, seriously, guys? Like, the
Are you
fuck,
fucking
man?
serious?
So,
Like, are
no,
you
I love
fucking
that, too,
serious?
because I'm like, exactly. You're like, we're all finally out here doing something, and this is the exact reason why police will shut it down, or, so
Yeah.
it's like, come on, man. No one wants that shit.
It's like, yeah, our music is angry and is supposed to take out frustration, but you don't take out frustration on somebody else.
Nah.
You release it to the air, you release it and you let it go there, and it doesn't carry over, because at the end of the day, we still need to live with each other, and we still need to learn how to respect with each other,
Yeah, and that's therapy, is letting it just dissipate. When you transfer energy into someone else, unless it's like malice, you're not going to feel good afterwards. Like I've been in fights where I've hit a guy and I didn't feel bad, but if you've ever been in a fight necessarily where maybe you were both drunk, you do feel bad because you realize that neither of you really were that mad. You're just so foolishly intoxicated that a problem happened, and that's when you can feel bad. And exactly, I think, there's always better ways to handle those kind of situations.
Yeah, dude. But moving along back to the original Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
100,000 people per show. It's a lot of, there's a lot of people in there, 400,000 altogether. Tom DeLonge even posted this. I love me my Tom DeLonge. He's fucking amazing. In fact, actually, you're a fan of Blink.
Yeah.
You come to the record. As you know, Mr. Mark Hoppus is going through cancer therapy right now. I think he just went through his third or fourth wave of chemo.
Yeah.
And they seem to be working, so good for him.
Hell yeah.
Tom went through a very light skin cancer kind of thing last year also. But Tom just was interviewed by Mark Hoppus in Mark Hoppus' podcast. It's called like After School Special or something. It's up on YouTube. It's like a 30-minute.
Yeah, I'll check. That's awesome.
It's a 30-minute one, and it's just great because you're just hearing friends reminisce and just talking about each other. They're just talking stories and each other, and you're like, you hear like interviews, and it's kind of bland, very vanilla, very blah blah blah. But with this ones, you can just tell like they're friends. They're just friends. It doesn't matter. Like, yeah, they hate each. I'm pretty sure like any other relationship, you hate each other for like the stupidest shit. But at the end of the day, you're fucking friends.
Oh yeah.
So, because there's this scene, and one of them, Mark goes, "How is it that we can not talk to each other for 5 years, but the moment like we talk, it's like nothing never happened?" And Tom goes, "Well, it's because only you and I really appreciate dick jokes, and that's what it comes down. We can appreciate a dick joke like nobody else does." It's a great interview. So, anyways, Tom DeLonge was at Lollapalooza also, and he posted a picture talking about no social distancing, and I think that's what led to this cancellation. Well, obviously, that's what led to the cancellations of the reigning tour of Limp Bizkit. And even like My Chemical Romance were supposed to go on a huge world tour this fall. That got pushed back for next year. Deftones also about 2 or 3 weeks ago, they pushed back their tour as well because of like uncertainty and safety regulations. Which brings me to the next point. How are you feeling about Knotfest?
Well, I just talked to Michael last night because he is my cohort in this, and
your partner,
partner, if you will, better half, one of my better halves. I have many.
He's my 1/4. Yeah, he's my 1/4.
Yeah, that's true. No, but okay, well, that's a good question because we asked the same thing. We were even debating. I hit him up and I said, because I'm trying to find a place for us to stay. I'm like, well, should we do a hotel or should we do an Airbnb? And before we even got into that, he said, well, maybe we should find something that has a free cancellation fee because we might not even be able to go. And he's all, plane tickets we can reschedule. Hotel we can probably reschedule, but Airbnbs, I don't know. And I said, well, if it's COVID related, I can't imagine Airbnb being like, no, you have to come here now. It's like, really? So, but you
know,
never know,
bro.
though. You're right.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, maybe we should just go the hotel route, because even if they say cancellation, if it's COVID and it's a chain, what are they going to do? Go fuck yourself. So, yeah, I mean, that was a huge talk because we're worried, you know, like, I mean, I personally just I technically had COVID, you know, like, but I shouldn't do that now. Should finish the Knotfest thing, but I don't know the answer.
Then we'll move on.
Yeah, the answer. I don't know. I could honestly see it getting moved. I don't want it to. I don't know what the responsible thing to do is. Because yeah, the responsible thing is to never do live music again, right? But is that realistic? Is that what we can do? Look how people get when they're like stuck in the house. I mean, we get cabin fever, man. We get antsy, we get angry, we get cranky. People need human interaction, and people need like music. How we're gonna go about it, I think this whole situation is definitely gonna change things for us. But I hope it doesn't get canceled, dude. But it's a giant gathering outside in the middle of a cornfield in Iowa. I don't know. You know, we'll see. It's September 25th. So, I mean, we got a whole month and some change. Things can definitely get shut down between now and then. So, yeah, we shall see, man. I got hopes things will get a little bit better. I just feel like, damn, dude. I mean, I'm not blaming Lollapalooza. It's not fair to do that. But
we're not going to Woodstock them.
It's also like, it's tough though, because you're like, all right, well, maybe doing fests shouldn't be the thing right now. Maybe they should just be focusing on like smaller tours and then working up to fests once we can get to a little more. But here's the thing. If they're not doing concerts, they're not going to do live sports. And politically, I just don't know if the NFL would agree to that because of all the money they lost last year. Hey, whether you want to make it a moral thing or not, it's business at the end of the day for a lot of these companies, and they're going to try and find a way to do it because they need their money. So I don't know. I think what might happen is there's probably going to be a lot more safety protocols. Yeah. Which is going to slow entrances down to these festivals, which is another reason why we're getting there a day early so we can show up early the day of. Yeah. Because I imagine we're going to be sitting in a line going through security. I mean, I'm hoping they're going to check people, you know, because even though like the young high school kid would be like, fuck security, let me in. Well, dude, they let you in like with anything. They'll let homeboy in with a butterfly knife. You know what I mean? So we all want to be safe. You know, we don't want psychopaths in there with machetes.
Now, Coop, I'm not sure if this was going back to Lollapalooza and you said security and letting anybody in. I saw a video. I'm not sure if it was like recycled video from like an older thing, right? Or from something different. But there was like, it looked like a crowd of like maybe 100, maybe 200 people. Like they went over or they knocked down like a security gate or something, and they all just kind of rushed in. Like they sneaked into Lollapalooza.
I mean, I wouldn't
with a ticket.
I wouldn't doubt it because when I used to work for that company that made and serviced the porta potties, United, they would host the outside lands every year. Yeah. And I don't know if you remember the viral videos of that happening, the fences getting torn down and people just jumping over. Every year they did it, people would sneak in. So any festival, I think that happens every year. I've heard about people sneaking into Coachella. So, I think that happens all the time. I think, but 200 people's a lot. But, yeah, I mean, that's the thing, too. It's like, you don't know. I mean, those people weren't checked. Yeah. So that's 200 people that have weapons, whatever on them. God knows. So, yeah, dude, I mean, at the end of the day, we can't expect something to be perfectly safe for us. We can hope. We can be responsible, but we have to keep our head on a swivel and do that for ourselves. If you notice you're in danger, you got to get yourself the fuck out of there. You know, don't wait for someone to tell you it's not safe. If you feel it's not safe, maybe let someone talk to your buddy, let someone else know, and just leave. because it's not worth trying to wait it out. No, just if it's a bad vibe, get out of there.
Yeah. Better be safe than sorry.
Always follow your instincts. I'm still trying to learn that.
Yeah. That sucks, dude. That sucks if that does happen for you, because I know you're super stoked on it. And of course, I'll be kind of disappointed also, because I myself love music. I love going free shows.
I think we all had tickets for this fall to do stuff, man.
Yeah, I got 2 or 3 concerts already lined up. And I've already been to a couple, local shows are just fucking insane right now, bro. Local shows are like, they're it right now. People, like, I feel like people really got back into like the scene and the music scene, and they're just dying for any live music or any like sense of like helping this community grow again, dude. So, it's funny because you kind of hinted at this, that you experienced some sort of like COVID like symptoms this past couple of days. This is why we had to take a couple of days off from Tales, but there's definitely something going on right now as far as like illnesses. I feel like, and people forget that you can still get like the common cold or like flus in times of COVID.
Yeah, in a warm month.
Yeah,
I always get sick in the warm months. All these people say, I get sick when it's cold. No, I get sniffly a little bit, but I always get my flus between May and August.
And the thing is, dude, it's because we come from the Bay Area. And the weather here is fucking extreme. It goes from the morning being like in the 50s to the 90s. Like it drops, and it goes and drops 40 degrees in any given day. The morning's fucking foggy as hell. I mean, today, because it's smoky as hell. Hopefully, thank you for your service, and thank you for the California Fire Department trying to stop those fires up north in Northern California.
Oh yeah.
But in the morning, it's always fucking freezing. We're in July.
Yeah, but that's also because you're a wimp, dude. Like, look, everything you're saying is like, you should be from Minnesota. Like, California has the best weather in the United States. I can't. No. I know what you mean, but like, there's like an 80-degree difference if you go to like Minnesota.
That's true.
So,
but the thing is,
we're spoiled, dude.
It gets too extreme, and and this creates us to get sick. Our body doesn't know what the fuck to do. Like, okay, are we cold? Are we doing cold today? Are we doing hot? What the fuck are we doing? So,
but 50 is pretty nice. I don't know.
I'm not gonna complain. Fog is in the 50s. I'm not gonna lie. Anything above 80, I'm not gonna have a good day. And that just shows you how spoiled we are here in California. If it's above 80, it's fucking hot.
And don't worry, I didn't mean wimp because you're not being manly. I just meant weather-wise.
Be a man. Anyways, don't worse weather. Be a man.
Boston, be a man. Follow Boston, be a man.
But okay, so and it's funny. This was not planned, but the day before I went to the Set Fire to the Sky with Infinite Sleep. Here in San Jose, I went to Monterey. San Jose was like 80, 90 degrees, whatever. Mm-hmm. Monterey is like fucking 65. Fucking freezing. Of course, I didn't take a sweater. It's gonna be nice.
It's windy though. Yeah, you should always take a sweater in a beach town, dude. Come on.
Again, talking about California weather, the rest of the state is like burning alive, and we're like, oh, you know what? Let me take the light sweater because it gets kind of chilly.
Well,
it gets windy out there.
Yeah, coastal.
Yeah, it's true. Is it our fault that we were born and raised in the best state?
It is our fault, but I'm okay with it.
Okay. Much love to all my listeners and all my friends out of the state. Anyways, so we go, I go, and then we go and eat at San Juan Bautista, which is just fucking windy. So overnight, I did get like a little bit cold. And then the next day, I go, we go to the show, myself and my bandmate. We go, and there's like 300 people in this small ass, and you've been to this venue, the Evergreen Pub.
Yeah, I've only eaten there. I've only had breakfast there, but I've never seen a show there. I used to go there with my grandpa when I was a kid. Sorry. But I know what you're talking about.
It's such a grandpa place too.
Oh, it's so old timey. Yeah.
So
I'm sorry.
If for reference, y'all need to YouTube what the fuck's up Denny's, and that's exactly how this venue is. It, like in the morning is legit a breakfast joint, and then on the weekends at night there's like full on punk rock shows, and hardcore shows. And I'm surprised no one has said, "What's up? What the fuck's up, Denny's?" Like, I want to do that.
No, don't do Denny's. It'll be like, what the fuck is up? The pub.
Yeah.
Or
like, what's up? What's up? What the fuck's up? Evergreen Pub. You know?
Yeah, like, yeah. What the fuck is up, pub?
Yeah.
Fuck is up, Evergreen Pub? Yeah, yeah. Evergreen Pub, dude.
Oh God.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
You need to fucking California Crush needs to fucking originate it.
I'm gonna do it.
Put that shit on the map, bro.
Hey,
you could be the first ones.
Watch out, Denny's. Watch out, Denny's. There's a new breakfast joint this /venue coming your way.
You gotta go viral, dude. That would be perfect.
Fuck, that'd be amazing. Well, anyways, we go to the show and there's like somewhere between like 200, 300 people in this place.
That's a lot.
It's fucking packed. It's fucking packed. Amazing show. Our buddies in Set Fire to the Skies just fucking killed it. Infinite Sleep fucking killed it. All these bands just fucking killed it at night. And of course I'm not wearing a mask. My bandmate is not wearing a mask.
Dude, I mean, but what was it, 95 degrees with all the people in there? What are you gonna wear a mask and pass out?
Yeah, and I mean, we got vaccinated. This is before the Alpha Delta whatever came out.
Yeah, the Delta variant.
The Alpha Delta.
Speaking of frat boys,
the Super Saiyan, the Super Saiyan strain. So we go. And, you know, no social distancing. In fact, we're like punching each other. This video of me with my arm crossed, bright ass green shirt, arms crossed, just looking at these people knocking the shit out of each other. And I'm just like, fuck you guys. I wish I can do that. So anyways, the next couple of days, like, we both got pretty sick. My buddy got freaking paranoid. He goes, hey, bro, you should go get tested, bro, blah, blah, blah. So think about it. We're at the show. There's like 200 or 300 people. He's all... And I feel like I'm getting sick. And I'm like, well, fuck, dude, I'm kind of getting sick. And then, of course, he looks up on the, he looks up the injuries like, hey, bro, on the news are saying that more people are taking the test more than ever. You know, COVID tests, like the numbers are going up of people like taking the test and shit. And I'm like, and I'm fucking getting paranoid. I'm like, fuck, he's right. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm going to go get tested. I pick up my partner. I pick up my girlfriend. And we're driving over to Gilroy. And I go get tested, and she's like, "What are you gonna get tested for?" And I'm like, "Well, so and so kind of creeped me out because he said this, and that, and I think he's right." And she works in the medical field. Mm-hmm. She's like, "Yeah, people are getting tested because people are going on vacation. Yeah, like people are flying out and they require the test." So I'm like, "Oh,
but also,
yeah, I guess you're right."
But also, dude, it's like you shouldn't be. And I'm not saying you, but people shouldn't be scared when people want to test, because that doesn't mean it's all positives. It doesn't mean it's just this giant wave of shit. No, it just means people are just taking an extra step to make sure that they're not sick or, you know, positive.
And that and with my bandmate, I mean, his wife is pregnant, you know, and you know, so he's, you know, being conscious also. So I'm like, fuck, all right, let me do that too, because I know what happened last time my dad got COVID. I almost fucking lost him, and I never wanted to see him do that again. So I'm like, let's be the responsible thing.
Wait,
here.
Your dad got it?
Dude, my dad got it so bad back in November.
Oh wow!
Like he couldn't even like do a full on sentence without him like starting coughing up a joint.
Okay, he had coughing and he had throat. Did he have throat problems too? Did he have like a sore throat or kind of a?
Probably, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you probably don't remember exactly.
Short of breath, no taste, no appetite. He's just fatigue. And dude, I don't think I've ever shared this.
No, I don't think anybody here on the podcast. No, I don't think we talked about it at all.
Yeah, because it was kind of like there's this bad thing about people catching COVID. It was like there's a bad stigma or something, like, oh, you're not responsible.
Oh, 100%.
So I think that's why. And also my dad is such a like old school dude who doesn't like putting his shit on blast. He doesn't want people to know his shit or anything like that. So
I respect that.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, he got really bad, and he was in his room the whole time. We put fucking air purifier and everything, making sure like that he was okay. And and I remember we were checking his oxygen level, and they were fucking really low.
Damn.
They were super low. Finally, like the doctor called back, like, oh yeah, he tested positive for COVID. I'm like, oh thanks, yeah, we already knew this like 2 days ago when he was fucking fucked up. And I remember all my brothers were like, dude, we need to take him to doctors. We need to take him to hospital. Like we need. And my dad was fucking being hella stubborn. Was like, oh, you guys ain't taking me to fucking hospital.
Right.
Fuck that. You know, blah, blah.
That's true though. He's smart. He's a smart man, because if he would have went to the hospital, he probably could have got more sick being around other sick people. You guys did the right thing.
So I go into his room. Is me, my mom, and him. And I'm like, Dad, I'm a dude. Like, if you need to get better, dude. Like, if we wake up tomorrow morning and you still low in oxygen, you still have bad symptoms, like I have to take you in, dude. Like,
oh yeah, that makes sense.
I cannot have this kill you and me losing you because you're being stubborn and me not being able to do something about it. Like, I have to take you in, dude. Like we will not be able to live. So fuck that. You ain't taking me no fucking doctor. And like literally, like he fought for himself, and he like started getting a little bit better and better. And he did not like he went past his 14 days or 10 days, whatever. But he was still sick, and it wasn't until we went to Mexico where he felt 100% better. He was saying he felt 100% better. And while we were out there, he was telling us like, yeah, dude. And he's like, I was really messed up. He's like, I was in that room. I'm not sure if I was going insane or something, or it might be because of the lack of oxygen. But he was saying he was seeing like figures in the room. He was hearing voices in the room. He was just out of it because of COVID. And he's like, when you guys told me you guys were going to take me to the doctors, like I thought you guys were going to send me to get killed or something. So I'm like, I'm really stoked that we didn't take him to doctors, and I'm glad too. But
because a lot of the elderly people were getting fucked over. They're all getting thrown in the same room together. I mean, it's just they weren't handling the situations great. But to your argument,
my dad didn't have any precondition,
right?
Yeah, so that also helped. I mean, granted, he's older. I'm pretty sure he has like, some sort of like,
I know what you mean, like pre-existing lung condition or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So that helped them a lot, dude. I think that's what really helped them a lot. But yeah, dude, that was some scary point. And yeah, just to go back to the story, like, and of course I got fucking spooked out because of that. So luckily negative, which is something you always want to see with any sort of test majority of the time. So negative. Same thing with a bandmate. He also came back negative, his wife, and we're like, okay, I guess we can get sick during COVID time also. And actually, just yesterday or 2 days ago, I was talking to another bandmate of California Crush, no names, but our mutual friend who plays in California Crush.
Right.
He goes, bro, he's like, I got scared, blah, blah, blah. He's like, I thought I got COVID. So this was going on, I felt sick. He also got spooked out, and he also got tested, and he came out negative. I'm like, bro, the whole band, we're like, we all went through that. Like, we all got sick around the same time, about 2 or 3 weeks ago. We all got sick around the same time, and we were all, fearing that it was COVID. And for us going to concerts or something, us being, quote unquote responsible, like, even though we all got the shot already, that was us, like, is cause of fear. So it's funny that we all went through it. We all kind of got spooked out around the same time, but luckily nothing happened. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case with you, Coop. Do you mind sharing that with us?
None of that was the case for me. Let me break down what happened to me. Saturday, August 1st, whatever.
Okay.
Last Saturday. I went to a family get together in Roseville. I haven't seen some of this family for 20 years.
Oh, nice.
We all got together. We hung out. It was a great time. We were drinking. It was fun. Sunday morning, I felt like I had a stomach bug. I was fatigued. I was scared to eat because I was just like on the toilet every 2 minutes. It was totally food poisoning. Something you're hanging out with people drinking. People aren't, people when they're drinking, they're not hygienic. So it's just the way it is. And then you forget. And, so I'm like, okay, it's easy to touch something dirty and put your hand on your face or do something, right? So then that's when I made the post online saying, I'm not going to do the episode Sunday because I wasn't feeling good. Well, Monday I stayed home from work because I still wasn't feeling quite well. And it wasn't anything flu-like. It was just stomach related. Didn't notice any, I still had taste and everything. So that's how I know I didn't have COVID yet. So
yeah, yet.
Exactly. Cause you know, when you have it. Tuesday I went to work. Tuesday, my coworker was not there, who tested positive on Wednesday. Wednesday I went into work. My coworker was there and she wasn't feeling well. And she kind of voiced it to me, but it just seemed like a cold. By the way, this person is fully vaccinated. Very cautious person, but she's fully vaccinated. She said, I wasn't feeling well. She went home early that day. I ended up staying my full shift, but I worked side by side with her. And she hits me up Wednesday afternoon saying I took a COVID test and it's Thursday, and I'm off Thursday. So now I'm off. By the way, Wednesday night I felt like shit. So I get home and I get a text from my boss saying, so-and-so tested positive for COVID. You guys should get tested too. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to take a test Friday morning and then I'll let you know, but I'm not going to come into work Friday because I'm just not even going to take a chance. Yeah. So I took a test. Steph was positive and I was negative.
Really?
Now at this point, neither of us could taste, smell, and we're completely fatigued. Now I know it's not... Now I know what started as food poisoning. So this is the fucked up thing. I had food poisoning. I legitimately had food poisoning, and then I got COVID from work. I did.
This is a double whammy.
And the reason I know this is because I reached out to every single member of my family that I saw that Saturday, and I let them know. Now some of them are vaccinated, and some of them aren't. I let them know, and none of every single 20 plus people are fine. And I'm like, okay, if I had it, they would have had it.
Yeah.
That would have been a super spreader type, whatever they call it, right? So I'm like, none of those people have it? Okay, then I didn't have it on Saturday. And I didn't even go to work on Monday. So that means, and I was starting to feel better. That's how I know I got sick again, because I was feeling better. I felt so shitty on Wednesday night. I felt shitty first, and then Steph followed maybe a few hours after me, but no taste, no appetite. Because of the cough, I put it this way, dude, I didn't even smoke or take edibles. I was so like tired and shitty feeling that I didn't even want weed. I didn't want food. I only wanted water, and I personally haven't stopped having diarrhea. I know this is oversharing, but that's one of the things too. Yeah, for sure. I've had diarrhea. Steph didn't have that. She had more of a throat thing. So that's what's weird too. It's like, I got it from someone who's vaccinated. I also gave it to my wife, who has different symptoms than me. Because she didn't go to work. She's been working from home, so it's me. But my mother-in-law brought up a good point, and we did start a new daycare a week and a half ago, and kids are very resilient. My kids, throughout this whole thing in the last week, haven't shown any signs of even a common cold.
Yeah.
Right now I'm a little worried about my baby because I don't think he's sick because he's not acting different. He's got a big molar coming in his bottom mouth and his mouth, so that's why he's fussy. But he's at such a young age, when he gets something in his throat, he doesn't know how to clear his throat. So it sounds worse than it is. But I think he's literally just got a nice little phlegmer right there. But it spooks you. You're like, the last thing you want is the shit you're dealing with to pass down to small children who can't communicate how they're feeling. Their immune system in some ways is better than ours, but in some ways might not be. So then you're just, the last thing you want is something terrible to happen to a loved one, right? So we're very blessed in that sense. But let me tell you, man, like, we're lucky to have the time to take off of work, but since we had to pull the kids out of daycare while we're quarantining, you know how hard it is to fucking this is my violin. So this is cue the sad music.
No, it's
it's really fucking hard. Valid. It's really fucking hard to fucking take care of children when you and your wife are really fucking sick, dude. Like tired. I mean, we got to feed the children. We got to do all this. We got to keep them entertained, man. Like, it's not easy. And then it's like, we don't have any, it's hard to get support and help when you're quarantining because you can't really get people to come in and pick up some weight, without you thinking that you're putting them at risk. So it's tough. And, it's been a tough week, but I finally, what I did last night was, because I just have had no appetite, man. And, when you don't eat, your body has no energy to fight off anything. So you're just going to keep staying sick. And finally, I was just like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to smoke. I'm going to get high. And I'm going to get the munchies. I'm going to eat some fucking food. Because I need to fucking eat, man. It's been 3 days of just water, Gatorade, I need, or liquids. I need fucking sustenance, man. I was eating, because I couldn't taste anything. I was literally taking a cup of white rice and just eating and using my rice cooker, and I was just eating white rice like a straight up fucking peasant in 1800s England, dude. Like, I was eating rice and water. Like no salt, nothing, no soy sauce, no hot sauce, nothing, just plain white rice, bro.
In your stomach.
Exactly, because I didn't want to upset it, and I wanted something to just kind of like fill me up a little. But I'm like, no, man, I need protein, Like I literally have to eat protein. So I was like, fuck this. I ordered pho. I DoorDashed pho because we're like, dude, we both were like, let's do soup, and then we're like, let's do pho. That sounds amazing, right? So we got this really good pho place in Tracy, and luckily they delivered, but I was like, all right, I'm going to do chicken. I got to do something that's kind of like tame and not going to fuck my stomach up. So I was like, all right, I'm going to do chicken. And I loved the broth. It was perfect. But then when I would try and eat the noodles, the vermicelli noodles, and then the chicken, it was hard. I almost wanted to puke. It's fucked up. So I'm like, all right, so last night I went out, I fucking took a couple rips, and damn, dude, let me tell you, I felt just, because I took a tolerance break, basically. So not only did I get high, like I haven't been in a month or two, but my stomach settled. I felt relaxed. I didn't feel like, I was sweating a little, but I don't mind when I sweat when I'm sick. I want to. Because that's getting the shit out of you, So I was like, okay, good. I'm sweating. I got a nice healthy sweat going. I waited like 40 minutes. I turned on Jungle to Jungle on Disney Plus. I was laughing upstairs for a little.
Great movie,
dude.
Great movie.
It's a hilarious. Tim Allen is so extreme, and that movie is pretty fucking funny though. It's great.
Martin Short,
with
too?
Martin Short's amazing in that movie.
Yeah, great fucking movie.
Oh, dude. Yeah, great movie, and it was perfect. Feel good movie.
The drummer from Detroit Rock
Yep,
City.
he's the dude in the loincloth.
Yeah.
By the way, that I pointed out, I'm like, Tim Allen. The kid was 13 years old. I'm like, I told Steph when they were walking through the airport, and he's got his loincloth on. I'm all, by the way, everyone and their mom would have accused Tim Allen of human trafficking. The kid's dressed like a slave, a sex slave. Anyway, so Great.
His freaking balls are freaking
Yeah,
hanging
dude,
out.
his loincloth.
Some puberty and shit.
Yeah. Great movie though. No knocking it. But I turned that on and then I was like, you know what? I told Steph, I'm all, you want some snacks? Because I try to tell her, I'm like, take a little edible, I got these little THC capsules if you don't want to smoke, because she doesn't smoke at all. She'll know, maybe I'll take a little piece of an edible. She didn't do that, but she did. She's like, can you go down and get me some snacks and some NyQuil? And I was like, oh, yeah, I got you. And I was high, so I brought up like 8 bags. I brought Cheez-Its, I brought fucking granola, I brought, I brought her what I would bring myself, so I could tell she was probably a little happy. Well, see, it's good to be married to a stoner. And but when I went down there, I told her, I said, you know what? I'm gonna heat up my pho, dude, and I'm gonna eat that shit. I'm fucking hungry. And it felt good to say that because I'm a fat ass. And for me to not eat, that's insane. Like there's something wrong. So I went down, I heated it up. Fuck, dude, I felt so good to scarf food down.
And, it was like the best food ever also.
Wholesome. I wanted to add hoisin in the sriracha, but I didn't. I just kept it bland. Exactly. I didn't put the jalapenos in because I love jalapenos, but I just didn't want to push it. So, and it was still so good. So I ate it, dude, and I had the best night's sleep of my life. Well, not my life. I had the best night's sleep in probably weeks. And
in a while.
I ate something. I woke up this morning, dude. Like I said, I told you all week I've been about 65%. Wednesday, at my worst last week, I probably was at a good 40. Yeah, I just couldn't even get out of bed that day.
At the peak and shit.
But that was all fatigue. That was the flu part about COVID that I noticed is it's very fluish on the fatigue part. The thing that's different about it other than the flu is mostly that loss of taste and smell, which is a motherfucker, dude. I'm barely getting it back, but Steph made me a Hot Pocket on Friday. Because I've been off of work. This whole weekend's feel like I thought it's the weekdays. My clock is fucked up. But she made me a Hot Pocket. It was a pizza pocket. I bit into that thing, and you know what it tasted like? I felt like I had like a Morton box of salt with a fucking Hot Pocket wrapper around it when I bit into it.
Wow.
It was the most revolting thing I've ever tasted in my life. Yeah. I literally was like, I had to spit it out too. That's how much of a bitch I was. I was like, I gotta spit this out. I can't even eat it. And it was just like, I'm finally getting my taste and smells back. Because I tested it, I was like, okay, let's see if I can smell this bag of weed. And I was like, oh, I can smell it. But I knew how pungent it is, so I'm like, but I'm not at 100% because I'm like, I'm whiffing it, but I'm not.
Yeah.
And even Steph, she was like, I painted my toenails and I couldn't even smell because I hate. She normally paints her toenails when I'm away or when she goes upstairs because she knows I hate the smell I hate nail polish smell.
Yeah.
And she even said, she's like, I painted my toenails and I couldn't even smell it. And I was just like, yeah, dude, that's not good. So she's starting to slowly get her taste back. She's feeling a little bit better. But I'm at a good 80% today. By the way, I'm going to test again tomorrow. If it comes back negative again, I'm just... Danny, I'm trying to be responsible and use these damn tests. But either I'm breaking the system... because I'm such a fucking little rebel, like...
You're a little mutant.
Well, I told Steph, I was like, you know what's funny, babe? Like, what if I test negative to this bullshit, Because I'm just such a fucking tinfoil and I'm just against the man, right? So I'm just like, wouldn't that be funny if I test negative? Sure enough, I test negative. And I'm like, babe, that's a false negative. Like, I'm feeling just as shitty as you. Like, I have no taste. So I told my work that, and I was just like, yeah, I got a negative test, but I'm going to retest Monday. But either way, my kids are out of daycare, so I can't come into work. But it's I don't wish this. I mean, obviously no one wishes anything on anybody, but my advice to anyone is no matter what your take on this virus is, whether be it pandemic, political, or whatever, regardless, we need to just be a little smarter about the choices we make when we go out. If you want to wear a mask, I think you should do it. If you don't, just understand that other people are fucking pigs, and even if you do wear a mask, you got to wash your hands, because doorknobs, whatever, dude, we're still dealing with just disgusting people that, whether you're in a pandemic or not, don't wash their hands, don't wipe their ass right. So, it's really, it's all up to the person, the individual.
Yeah.
And that's also kind of what we're going to have to decide too in September is, am I being irresponsible by going to this festival in September and then coming back home to my kids? No one's told me that. That thought just popped in my head. I guilt tripped myself, but that's a thought I have, man, because, as much as I am very confident about my immune system, which I am, I feel like I handled this pretty well. I felt really shitty this week, but I wasn't deathly ill. I wasn't vaccinated, and none of my questions were really answered by being sick. Besides just respecting the illness a little more, like, because I really didn't know anyone that had it, and whenever I heard about it, it was all the same shit. I was like, oh, I couldn't taste. I'm like, okay. Like, how did it make you feel? And it was all generic cold flu stuff. So I was just like, okay, well, you might have just had the cold. But see, you don't, because it's no cold or flu. You lose, because the weird thing about losing your taste and smell is you can still breathe out of your fucking nose, man.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not like there's any kind of congestion or nasal blockage to prevent you from breathing, like a cold would. You can breathe perfectly fine. And that's the other thing. I didn't have shortness of breath. But I did have the lack of smell and lack of taste. Like, I could breathe perfectly fine out of my nose. I just, I couldn't smell shit. I mean, yesterday I took a nap with my son, and Champ goes, "Dad, you stink." And I'm like, oh yeah, I can't smell. And because you're sick, you're not showering like necessarily every day. You should, but let's be honest. So I'm like, oh yeah, I need, have the energy. And I'm like, all right, I need a shower. But, it's just, and that's the thing that I wanted to say is, I don't know what to tell anybody, because, just do what you think is best and be smart. But I got sick from someone who was vaccinated. I tested negative. It's hard for me to believe in what we have in place to help protect us when I'm just experiencing it fail. And just because it's my perspective doesn't mean it's the perspective, but I'm definitely going to take my firsthand experience more important than others, because I went through it. But for the people that were like super deathly ill, I understand why they're very cautious about it. And it's funny,
and I was going to say, and I think it's funny because that's kind of like what led up to the misinterpretations of this disease when it first came out, because it was like, oh, it's just like a cold, but with this, and what's the big deal? And it's not until like you actually experience. And then I think you brought up a good point also, like every person experienced it differently when they're like, okay, yeah, it didn't kill me, but now we fucking respect the shit out of it because it is legit. And you can, you're a pretty healthy mid-30s, early 30s gentleman. So, but you can see how this is, as you get older, how it, it really fucks up. And I read an article, I'm not sure how true. It might not even apply to you, but I heard that COVID messes up your lungs so bad that it's the equivalent of like 10 years smoking or something. That's how much damage it does to your lungs. I'm not sure if that's how necessarily that's true. I know you're kind of
I don't like. So. Well, I don't like statements like that, because what the hell does 10 years of smoking look like in general, right?
Just as far as like your lung damage. And
no, shit. I know, but it's just, that sounds like propaganda.
Yeah, perhaps.
It sounds like anti-cigarette propaganda. I'm not supporting cigarettes, but it's just such crap information. It's like, 10 years worth of smoking. Really? I don't think so. And I know what they're trying to say, but it's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
it's being a little political without needing to be. Like basically, you could just say COVID's really hard on the lungs, and it takes
damage.
Yeah, and it takes a toll on it. Like you don't need to bring cigarettes into it that has nothing to do with COVID. But okay, let's do that too. But that's what I mean. It's just let's stop agendavizing our information with everything. Like that's my problem with a lot of COVID stuff is let's be straightforward and informative with people and not be so agendavized. Like it's like, oh, well, I don't want to say that because it doesn't support my political party. Well, fuck your political party, man. Like I don't give a shit what you vote for, who you vote for, what you even look like. What I care about is we're healthy. We want to be healthy. Like everybody wants to fucking be healthy. We don't want to fucking spread illness. So, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, I just don't, I hate that COVID has become political. And you kind of mentioned that.
Yeah.
You didn't say it in those words, but you kind of mentioned that you were a little nervous. And even your father, he's a private man, but he understands the target that you put on yourself when you disclose this. I mean, even this morning, I told Steph, I said, are you okay with me talking about us having it? Because this is now going to be public information. I mean, it is anyway, but it's a little pariah-y, man. Like, it's a witch hunt. It's like, and I also feel like I'm being witch hunted a little because I'm not going to, this is the first time me putting this out there. I don't want to get vaccinated. You know? I've gotten in arguments with my own family about it. I mean, trust me, man, like, I understand the negative image that people put on it. And I also understand that there's like anti-vax people that are total psychopaths, but it's just, I just don't appreciate the fact that it's become this thing where it's like, if we don't all agree about something that none of us know about, like none of us know A is right or B is right? I mean, you can say that, right? Even though you're vaccinated, you don't know that the vaccine works 100%. You don't know that it's going to prevent you from getting sick or giving it to someone else. No one knows that. So then my whole point is if we don't have those like absolutes in our life, how can we persecute other people for thinking different or choosing to do something that's different than what we line up with? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's unfair.
No, and it's also another thing also with it is, it doesn't matter if you want to get vaccinated or not. You just have to be more responsible. Regardless, you have to be responsible and take other people into consideration. And I always said this, like, one thing I hate is people who hide behind their religion. Like, well, he's this, he's that. And so therefore I don't want to be out there and be like, well, look at me, I'm responsible. I got vaccinated.
Yeah, they're like, Jesus got vaccinated.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, if you can go ahead, I'll be vaccinated. That's fine.
Yeah, they drove the 9-inch needle. Yeah, they drove the 9-inch needles into his wrists.
I heard. Yeah. I heard.
That's enough blasphemy.
I heard the ladies loved him because he was hung like this.
Yes. God bless Danny. See, anyways. And that's the beauty because some of my family's so overtly religious. I enjoy that so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm here. Yeah. I'm here until next week.
Hopefully longer.
Hopefully longer. Sorry if I offended anybody, but it's a fucking funny ass joke. If you cannot laugh at your own, if you cannot laugh at shit like that, come on, you gotta get a sense.
Take a shuttle.
Even regardless of what religion, if you believe in Christ or not. Anyways,
exactly.
But I feel like, yeah, dude, you just gotta be responsible. That's what got us into this mess to begin with.
100%.
If you feel sick, stay home. Wash your hands. If you're coughing up a storm and you cannot go out and miss a day, because that is unfortunately, that is something we need to talk about, is people cannot afford a sick day. Just one day of them being sick messes up their food on the table, roof over their heads, everything. Yeah. So it's understandable. And if that's the case, and unfortunately, that's the situation for a lot of like the underprivileged community or the working class community.
Yeah.
That is the case, and you have to acknowledge that. But I mean, at least put on a fucking mask.
Well, exactly. But also something to think about which is kind of relating to my work, is take a sick day because, yeah, okay, you might have to cut your budget a little, but a day off is easier than 10 days or 15 because I think it's 10 days after no symptoms. So it's almost 2 weeks. 2 weeks is hard no pay.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to weigh the evils. But like you said, the minute you're feeling sick, like how you and exactly everything you guys did, you and the band did, was nothing paranoid at all, in my opinion. Even me prior getting sick, dude, I don't think my opinions changed much about this whole situation. I mean, I'm a lot more sensitive to the people that have been sick because I understand.
You're one of them now.
I'm one
You're
of.
a COVID survivor.
I'm a plagued. Oh, dude, that's the thing now. I'm a leper. So, yeah, right. I'm a COVID survivor. Where's my fucking hat? Can I be like a war veteran? COVID vet, dude.
Hat.
Put a fucking badge on it. They do the Gulf War veterans and shit. I'm gonna make a COVID one, but we'll like put a needle on it and put an. I don't know. I'm done. But
yes,
but like, yeah, no. So, and I even told Stefan, I really don't want to use Tails as a political platform, and I feel like even though I disclosed my opinion, we didn't go too political.
Yeah.
And you know what? If I put a target on my back, so be it, man. Because at this point, I want to be honest with people. I got nothing to be ashamed of. And like I said, until science and people can actually tell me that there's no risk involved and this thing works and will help us prevent spread and it's not some kind of tool for something bigger, then I'm all for it. Sign me up. But I haven't seen that proof yet, and for me personally, I need that. So I know other people don't, and I'm not shitting on your choice. I feel like just like they wouldn't want me to push my crazy beliefs on them, I don't want them to push them on me. That's all.
For sure.
And like you said, man, we just need to be smarter, cleaner.
Yeah. Just be more conscious. Be more conscious and more mindful of others. And we're saying this like when we sneeze, we both do the shirt.
Just do it in the shirt.
One of the I remember this one time I was at Evergreen and I was coughing. I was kind of sick that day. I just gone home. And I think I was heading home at this time. I ran into my professor, Mr. Professor Arturo Villarreal. I think he still teaches at Evergreen Valley College. He's a mentor of mine, also a great friend. Comes up and he goes, "Hey, what's going on, Betancourt? How are you?" And he came out and he put his hand out to shake my hand. And I told him, like, "Oh, you know what, Professor? You know what, Mr. Villarreal, I'm not gonna shake your hand because I've been sneezing on it, and I don't want to, like, if I'm sick, I don't want to pass it on to you." And he looks at me and goes, "You know what? I respect that. That's the highest sign of respect." And so rather than you tell me what's going on, rather than shake my hand, you tell me why. And he's like, "I respect that." And so I wish there was more people should do that. And I was like, I guess this is a sign of respect. Like, hey, I don't want to shake your hand, but not because I don't like you or respect you or anything. I've been sneezing and I don't want to like spread them out. And it's not selfish. It's just like, hey, this is what's going on. And as a person, like, oh shit, you know what? Cool. Thanks for letting me know. Now I'm going to be more conscious the rest of the day. I'm like, hey, who the fuck am I shaking people's hand with who might be sick? Well, and that's why people should start carrying this little bad boys around. Where are they? Here it is. Well, hand sanitizers.
Mm-hmm. I think you're practicing something, honesty. And right now, our society is condemning honesty because people are scared to be honest.
Yeah.
And that's an issue, man.
Yeah.
You're grooming people to become liars for fear of chastising, like fear of being outcasted. And that's the exact way illnesses are spread because people they're just gonna like, oh, I don't care if I sneezed on my hand or whatever, as long as no one knows I did it. And it's like, let's just be honest with each other. It's like, look, I'm feeling sick today. I'm going to stay home. Great. Oh, great. I let everyone know at work I'm sick. Now I got to take a COVID test. Okay, fine. Then take one. But it's weird how scared people are to be in that position to be labeled as a COVID patient or something.
How many people are afraid of being inconvenienced? Oh, if I call out sick, they're gonna make me take a COVID test. Now I'm gonna have to go and take a COVID test. And so I think it's fear of being like burned at the stake, but also fear of like inconvenience.
You're right.
And I get that. And I me too. But at the same time, is you have to stick your head out of your own ass and kind of think of the greater picture.
Yeah, like what can we do? And when that's the thing that sucks is we're like, I feel like and it's been what I've been bitching about this whole time is like as much as I don't want a lockdown, if numbers are going up like the media says all the time, why isn't shit already closed? You know, and I've been saying this all year. It's like, you know, that's what's hard for me to trust, Danny, is like I feel like I wish there was an authority figure we had that we could trust. And I don't feel like we have that. I feel like we need as people to be that figure for ourselves.
Well, because unfortunately, political figures in our society have been taught not to trust politicians. Therefore, we don't trust you. As soon as you get that title, you can be the most upfront, the most honest person, but the moment you put on that title, we don't trust you.
You can't, because and as soon as they're in that position, they're agendized to help their investors and people that help, you know, campaign for them. So it's interesting, man. It's an interesting time, and I honestly, I just feel like I said, I feel like we're way too self-reliant on government and the government telling us what to do, and we got enough wits about us to know what we should do. Just like the Wu-Tang once said, protect your goddamn neck, but also, you know what, protect others. Be conscious of others. Yeah.
Before we go, Coop, unfortunately, we got some more sad news to share.
Yeah.
What a fucking downer ass fucking episode today.
You know what, dude? But you gotta go through hell to build yourself back up again sometimes, dude.
That's true. I like that. Hey, and I've been saying this for like the past month, even if we take 2 steps forward and 1 step back, that's still 1 step in the right direction. Exactly. So maybe today's still a step back. But we got some bad news to share. I know you're more of the comedian fanatic of this partnership. Do you mind sharing your thoughts of this?
For sure. So today we're recording this on August 8th, but I noticed on August 6th, I noticed this morning because I was kind of MIA. Trevor Moore passed away. He was 41 years old. He's a writer and comedian, Canadian born, I believe. He most famously known sketch comedy show, the early 2000s, The Whitest Kids You Know. YouTube their stuff. It's amazing. I believe they started on the same network as Trailer Park Boys. I think it was like the Showcase Network in Canada. But then he even moved on to Comedy Central to do the Trevor Moore Show. He was a really successful comedic writer. A lot of stand-up comedians are mourning this. This is a big deal. I mean, he was 41. The only thing I could even find, it's a little early, so most of the time you can't usually find a cause of death this early on. Either the family's protecting him or they don't know. But I read a vague explanation that said it was an accident. That's it. And then I went and I was like, okay, Wikipedia's usually got some little more of the juicy details.
A little bit more of the dirt.
Right. It may not be 100% accurate, but at least I might be able to get some insight. The only more insight I got off Wikipedia about his death was an accident in his yard. Okay. So, you know, what if it's foul play? I don't know. Either way, the man, he did pass away. I guess once we more details develop, we can actually disclose or people will know. But at the moment, it's being categorized as an accident. It's just tough because you're looking at we've been losing like musicians and they're all in the same age bracket. Everyone's been under the age of 50 and pretty much a little older than 36. And, you know, I mean, we're not quite there, but, you know, we're in a few years, we're going to be in that bracket as well. And it's not that I'm being selfish and worrying about my own mortality. I'm just sick of watching people I look up to that are in my age group passing away. Like,
Yeah.
it
No,
sucks, man.
I'm definitely in that age group now. Going to turn 37 at the end of the month. But yeah, and you kind of brought it up, and it feels wrong because it feels fucked up because it feels like old news already. But we also need to acknowledge the passing of Joey Jordison. You
Yeah.
know, unfortunately, when this news broke last week, we took the week off.
Oh, that's
So
right.
we never really touched upon it. But obviously, if you guys been listening to this or know us or anything, you guys know that we're huge Slipknot fans. And the passing of Joey was very, very, yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks. Everybody, I mean, we should never idolize humans because they're flaws, like all of us. But it just sucks that when your heroes and the people you admire start to pass away.
Yeah.
And it just is a very sad reminder of how fragile this life is. Unfortunately, with Joey, no news has come out. I know his band just came out maybe a few days ago saying that Joey had his demons. You know, he had his addictions, and they did everything to help him. So they're kind of insinuated that was some sort of drug addiction or drug overdose that had passed away.
And to add some insight, he had a spine condition, so it wasn't just that he was like a junkie. The guy was probably medicating because of probably insane pain.
Well, that's the whole reason why he got removed from Slipknot, because of that back pain. He told the band, and they're like, "Well, shit, if you can't drum, then," because I think he even lost like movement of his legs or something for a little bit. So
that's what I mean, dude. It's like, yeah, I mean, when you have spine issues, you can lose. You can completely be paralyzed from the waist down. I mean, no more double bass. I mean, that was his thing.
And he was a fucking beast at that double bass.
Fun memory of Joey. Never got to see him do this. Oh, no, I think I did get to see him do it live because I saw him at a bunch of Ozfests. But whenever he would get that harness on, and obviously Tommy Lee started this, but when he got that harness in and would play and have his thing just flip upside down and be sideways, and he was playing like this still to the song. I mean, it's just total showman. You know, you'll be missed, man. And you were 46 years old, which also is not old at all. I remember my dad was 48, I think, when I graduated high school. So, you know, that's not old. So that is a tough loss.
I was just remembering how badass was that though. Like, he'll get in a circle, he'll go upside down like vertically, and then they'll light up like a pentagram while he's
on
fucking
his bass drum.
On
the whole thing.
Yeah, and the whole thing. And the funny thing is, he was super Christian. He was a super Christian, devoted Christian, church going person. Again, separating the art from the artist and entertain. You know, doing the difference between like entertainment and stuff. So he knew the music he was listening to. It was, it was a show. But I remember seeing one of the early Slipknot documentaries. I think it was like back in 2099, before their self-titled. And I remember there's this scene where they're going to like a Tower Records or something to do like a signing, and everybody's leaving. They're all like full on mask and whatever, and they all leave, and all of them are like with such polite voice telling the bus driver, like, or the van driver's like, "Oh, thank you, have a great day, thank you." And Joey was the last one. He goes, "Thank you very much, have a blessed day," and the bus driver's like, "Oh, thanks, you too." And it was just weird because they're known for like all this like evilness, and they obviously look fucking scary as fuck, you know, with their mask on. But just like the human side of them, like, "Oh, thank you," like appreciation. And then Joey's just like going that, "Oh, thank you, have a blessed day." And it wasn't like, "I'm gonna mock you" or anything. It's just like them being sincere, like super nerdy, like, "Oh, thank you." Like when you get off the bus from Besides,
Yeah.
by the way, if you don't say thank you to your bus driver or your school bus driver as you exit the bus, fuck you. You're an asshole.
Shout out to my boy Michael, VTA, bro. Be safe.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah,
Wear
be
that
safe, bro.
wear that bulletproof vest.
Please, please, we don't want.
No, but he's got to wear a mask all the time too, man. I mean, can you imagine all the people you deal with?
But he has air conditioning. What the fuck is he complaining about?
Oh, yeah, but still, like, you got to deal with a bunch of sick, gross bus people. Yeah, I look down on them.
yeah, because we never rode the bus.
Yeah, in high school. No, I'm an asshole. That's fucked up. There's people that need the bus. You know, I'm not shitting on them, but any bus driver knows what I mean, because there's definitely a lower class of asshole that does ride the bus. There's people that need it, and there's respectable people, and then there's probably a good 25% of filth that just decides to get on there. So
yeah.
Shout out to all this public servants out there. They're putting their lives out there just to drive a bunch of degenerates around to the grocery store. We appreciate you.
I appreciate that a lot.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate. But we gotta remember the greatest bus driver of all time.
Chris Farley?
Fuck. The second greatest bus driver of all time.
Who are you gonna say?
Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock.
Speed.
Oh God. Okay. Damn. I completely forgot she was the bus. Wait, she wasn't the bus driver. She just was a lady on the bus. But then she drove. But then she drove the bus. You're right. You're right. Then she was driving it.
Yeah.
I was thinking Billy Madison, Chris Farley.
Oh, but how great is he in that role?
Especially the part where he's eating all their sandwiches.
Yeah. Or when like they throw something at him and he's fucking like pissed off, turning red, and he goes, "I'll turn this bus around right now."
Precious little field trip. Oh, dude, I always joke about that with Michael. I'm like, dude, you have to do that. You have to like steal someone's lunch or like just turn the bus around, and dude, it's just so great. God bless. R.I.P. Chris Farley.
Yes, another great one. Who Demons got the best of him.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But next week and next week we're gonna have a whole new episode that won't be so much about this, but hey, you know, we had to do an update. We had to come back at you guys. We had some foreshadowing because, hey, man, these next coming months is going to be really eye-opening, I think, for everybody. So and us personally, the upcoming months are the ones that are going to be very challenging with our own personal lives and stuff. Oh yeah, definitely. Because it is coming up on the old holidays, you know. So yeah, back to school. I can feel the stress rate climbing up, and certain dates being associated with certain people and events. So yeah, it's gonna on my personal level, it's gonna be harsh. But good thing about your personal life right now is you have a nice outlet with this awesome band, and I am excited to keep hearing more and more. By the way, they are on Spotify. California Crush. Thank you for promoting my band there, Coop. Why don't you take the reins on that, bud? Yeah. No, thanks, man. We just released our debut EP called EP number 1. And we're going with like a Loteria theme. So the cover's the pink cover, has our logo, and it says El California Crush. And yeah, it's 3 songs, about 9 minutes, a little bit over 9 minutes, but check them out. It's on Spotify, California Crush. If not, just send me a message and I'll be more than happy to send you guys links, and follow us up on Instagram, California Crush Band. You guys have the rights. How cool would you be with me throwing one of the songs on here? Yeah, dude, you got the to play us out. You got the files. Do me a favor, send me one you want that you're cool with me sharing. Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Because I don't know if I can use those. I think they might have been read only. So do me a favor, if you find one you're cool with, send it to me. I'll throw it on there, dude, and then I'll plug it for the audio pod and then the video one too. All right, cool. Hell yeah, man. We're a team, man. And I love the project. I love the message you guys got going. You guys are all a bunch of great dudes. So I love seeing my friends have fun and have an outlet creatively to make great music. So fuck yeah, guys. I'm so proud of you. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Well, when I recorded it, and because we recorded like on a Sunday,
And when we as soon as we got the files back, you were like one of the first people I share that file with.
Yeah.
Because even though we just released it a week ago, we recorded this like almost a month ago. So
I kept my mouth shut pretty good.
Yeah, so I'm like, let me share this to Coop because I remember sharing demos of it back in May.
Yeah, no vocals.
Yeah,
and I loved it. I was like, oh, this is catchy as fuck.
So I sent it over, and at first we were kind of like hesitant about like if the vocals were gonna go with the
with the music.
People would respond to the vocals, but like they kind of do in a weird way. It kind of goes with it. And the more I'm listening to like new like bands like Turnstile and like they follow that very similar genre, very similar style of music. Punky. So it's pretty stoked on it. That's what I gotta say. Pretty
Hell
stoked.
Yeah, dude. I'm stoked too, man. So we'll throw that on there too, and then do you know which song? Because I could just probably lead it in right now, and then I'll just
I'm probably gonna share with you 5 shots.
5 shots.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
no. Let's go with the OG. Let's go with the original one. We're gonna go with California Hates You.
All right, I like that one. I like that one a lot. So
yeah,
we're gonna play out with California Hates You by California Crush. Please check them out on Spotify, iTunes, and pretty much every other listening platform I'm sure you guys are available on.
100%.
Hell yeah. Are. And coming soon, maybe to do a live. Well, you'll get back to us on that. But
yeah, that's definitely on the
horizon.
It's in the works for sure.
Let's fucking hype this shit up, dude. I'm ready.
Yeah,
it'll be like a flyer.
I'm just looking at the songs. Here they are. Yeah, dude. Once we got it locked down and like in a because I do know we do want to go to we do want to like do a show soon, so we will definitely, once that is all set up, I will let you know. I'm just trying to figure out how can I send you this. Oh, here it is. Okay.
Yeah, and then I'll just download it and I'll throw it on.
All right, I'll send it over right now.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Hell yeah, I'll definitely send it over to you. All right, bud. Well, thank you very much, man, and thank you guys for listening and check us out.
Yep. Have a good week, guys. Thanks for everything. We'll catch you later and be safe.